Welcome and thank you for joining me. It is day one of the July Junk Journal Challenge 2025 and this is run by Leigh from Leigh's Art and Junk Journal Wonderland. Now I pause because she's recently changed the name of her channel. If you type in at Leigh Creates, you will also find her. But it's yep, challenge picked up by Leigh, so awesome. Off we go. It's day one. Made my journal the other day. Day one, our prompt is, let's have a look. I tucked the little prompt list in here. Okay, day one, our prompt is torn edges. Now you will see, you will remember if you watched the the video of how I made this journal. I said I wasn't going to decorate the cover because I had an idea to use one of the prompts, and the prompt that I'm wanting to use is the first one, and that's torn edges. Now I'm taking inspiration from a video I saw the other day, and the channel was For Grace Creations, and it's for a layered topper to go on the front of my journal. So I don't very often use printables. I do occasionally. I've just finished my first challenge using a whole printable kit, which was the Creep On June challenge with Tracy Fox. But yeah, I do occasionally use printables, and I have these gorgeous, this was from a set of shabby cards by Mateo, and I've taken this one, which I love. I have a bit of thing about boots, but anyway, and I've enlarged it slightly. I'm going to use this as the basis of my topper, and so really this is a layered topper, and given that the prompt is torn edges, I'm going to be using all torn edges. So I'm going to put my journal aside for a minute. I'm just going to test that, so that is slightly too big. Okay, I'll pop it up there for a moment out of the way, and I'm going to start to build this layered journal topper. So I'm just going to start to tear around this image. Now you can do this with any image that you like. As I said, I have a bit of a thing for boots. I don't go much in for fashion and clothes and things, but do love a good pair of boots. Right, I'll take just a little bit more off there, just so it's not quite so square. Come down this way a bit. And the reason I'm taking a bit more off is that we're going to put all sorts of interesting things underneath, and I want to be able to see them. Okay, so my next layer is going to be sewing pattern. I actually want a little bit of this blue, not a lot, just a little bit to show. Right. Now I'm just going to be using glue stick for this bit. I'm only sticking paper onto paper. One thing I didn't do was ink the edges, and I could have done that. I'm not going to be too worried about it. Leave that for now. May take a little bit more off in a minute. Now, my next layer is going to be corrugated cardboard, and I started pulling this off. So this is a bit of packaging, box packaging. I thought I'd show you. This is an old barbecue stick, like a kebab stick. Really easy way to get this off is to sort of thread this stick in the corrugations and just literally pull up, and it makes it quite a lot easier sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, to get this off. Okay, as you can see, I was quite rough with tearing the corrugated, and that's because I definitely want that kind of torn edge look, nothing too straight and uniform about this. I'm just seeing, which I think it goes better that way. Got the corrugated and the paper coming out under the boot there, under the toe of the boot. So I'm going to put that on now. I use a little bit of a stronger glue for this, and before I started filming today I meant to check all my glues because they've all got a little bit bunged up, so I will go away and unbung my glue and then I'll come back. Okay, glue sorted, well, sort of. You know, this was a really quite a runny glue, and we've just come to the end of a really sort of long hot summer, and my creative space does get really warm, and I think it's reacted quite badly to the heat actually. So we'll use a brush, we'll spread it around and we'll see if it still sticks. I hate throwing things away, so we'll see if we can use it up. Right. Yuck. Okay, there's our next layer. Now, let's get rid of these bits and pieces. That might be useful. So, let's check the size. Okay, we've still got a bit of room to play with because we're just going to keep layering with this tag. And what I want to do next is to add some texture with, I don't know, I've got some bits of material from my scrap box. I've got an onion bag. I've got a whole pile of lace. I scored this lace in an op shop the other day and it's amazing. So I've got some lace, and I've also got this which is sort of fibres, and it's quite stiff, but I really quite like it because it sort of picks up the colour, the copper colour of the boot there. So I think I want a piece of this. So let's grab my scissors. Okay. You can't pull this, I'm just going to cut a piece like that. And I'm just going to play around and layer some of these things up until I sort of find something that I think, oh, you can pull it. I lie. All right, I'm going to play around and layer these things up until I find something that's sort of pleasing for me. Alright, so I've checked that the topper still is the right size to fit onto the journal. And as you can see, I sort of, in some ways, quite randomly layered things up. Now I may end up trimming a little bit of this off here. But before I finally put this topper on, the next thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit more in the way of decoration with some buttons and some bits and pieces. I found a couple of these little skeleton leaves which might end up on there, and I've pulled out my drawers of buttons. Now if you have fancy brads you can use them at this stage, but as I say, I've pulled out my drawers of buttons to see if any of these will look good. And again, I'm just going to have a little play around and see what sort of works and what doesn't. I've got some lovely wooden buttons here, which I think might... That one's a bit shiny, they've been varnished. That's a better one. Alright, so I've got the topper just drying for a minute. Now this is a page that Leigh has created for this challenge, and the idea is that these are all the prompts, and if you want to you can cut these out and add them onto the appropriate page so that you remember what the prompt was. And I think that's something I do want to do, because I know sometimes when I've done these challenges in the past I don't always do them in order in my journal, and sometimes when I look back it's like, oh, what prompt was that? So I'm going to be a little bit more organised this year, and I've just printed this onto a piece of brown wrapping paper. Yeah, the cheap rolls you buy in a post shop. I just cut them into sort of A4 size and run them through my printer. I know that Leigh does a similar thing with grocery bags, taking grocery bags apart and printing on them, which works too. Okay, so here is my prompt for today, torn edges. So I need to figure out, do I want to leave the number, and where am I going to put it? So let's sort of audition this up onto the cover. And yes, I know my cover opens a different way from normal, and if you watch the video of how I created the journal you'll figure out why. But there's my beautiful journal topper. I'm loving that. We've got the prompt of torn edges. Now you know, I may just tuck it underneath here so that I can see it, but it's not overly obvious. And I'm going to take the 1 off there because I do have the list inside, as I showed you just now. Oh, maybe there actually, that would look okay, wouldn't it? Right, let's get this stuck down. I've been playing with this. You can see I bought a little one to try. This is a silicone glue. And I saw this the other day in one of our shops we have here in New Zealand called Warehouse Stationery, and I thought I'd give it a go, and it's actually really good. As you can see, I only bought a little bottle, but Silicon Craft and Hobby Glue. It says it's acid free, but it's brilliant. So I will be looking for some more of that. Right, so I want this slightly offset to this side. I do think that this one, oh, do I want to ink the edges? No, I don't think so, not for this one. Right, back to the jolly old glue stick, and I'm just going to tuck that under there, and I'll be able to see the prompt. All right, so there we go. Day 1 of the July Junk Journal Challenge 2025 done. Now I may change this, and I did say that right at the beginning, or I may leave it as it is. But there we go. I've used day 1 to do my cover with the prompt torn edges. So thank you for watching. Please join me again tomorrow when we'll be looking at A Touch of Gold as our prompt for tomorrow. But for now, thank you for watching. Ka kite anō.